Hello, everybody, and good morning. This is Ed, the founder of the Morning Goals. I am your business and life coach and consultant, and you can find me at themorninggoals.com. I hope you all are doing well today. It is Thursday, and as always, I'm here this morning talking to you about things that affect us all and things that we think about, things we've thought about, and things that we need to improve in our lives. So this week we're talking a little bit about relinquishing control. So we've been on a quest to turn negatives into positives. I believe this is our third video of discussing how we can change negatives and negative experiences and find positives and find those moments in our lives that we need to find positives, but we're not sure how. So today's topic is relinquishing control and finding freedom. So I'm going to start with a little quote here. It says, it's from emergepositive.com. When you trust in the natural rhythm of life, you will shift from a place of doing to a place of being. Okay, so you will shift from a place of doing to a place of being. So I used to be a control freak. Okay, so I own my own companies. I have a team of 24 at one, a team of 4 at the other. And my goal as the boss and the leader was to be in control of everybody, micromanaging everybody, telling people what to do. And that created a lot of stress, especially when things didn't go as planned. I'm sure all of you can relate to this. You've made a plan, whether it's going on vacation, whether it's finding a job, whether it's renovating your home, and then nothing goes the way that it should. And that creates stress, anger, and sometimes resentment in that project. So relinquishing control, what would that look like? A few weeks ago, I was actually on a podcast as a guest, and somebody asked, can you trust the people you have hired to run the company when you're not there? And I thought to myself, and I think I actually said it, absolutely 100%. And the moderator was like, wow, I work with a lot of clients who don't trust anybody they've hired and think their company is going to fall apart without them. I used to be like that. That is the controller in you trying to micromanage the situation. But as a boss, if I'm hiring people that I trust, people that I believe in, and people that are qualified, then I shouldn't have to worry about these things, right? So that's sort of relinquishing control and trusting in yourself and the process that you've done to, in this situation, hire people and train them and empower them. Now, the old Ed, about 5 or 6 years ago, the control freak would be, okay, where's everybody at? Why is this on my desk? I want this, this, and this. My new approach is a little bit different. I relinquish control to my team. I'm not always around. My job is to empower them and be their cheerleader, ask for their advice, ask for their opinion. And yes, sometimes I do have to make decisions. Sometimes I have to make hard decisions, but it's very much a team effort. And so by working with everybody, working in as a team, everybody is vested. I hope they're happy. I think they are. And we're moving in the right direction. The other part of relinquishing control and being free is that sometimes you are where you need to be right now. I'm going to say that one more time. You are where you need to be right now. Now, if you're in a bad situation and you feel stuck, you're depressed, you're here now, okay, that's where you need to be. But yes, you need to get out of those situations. You need to move forward, right? You need to heal and process, right? But you're here right now in the present, wherever you are in your life, and accept that, right? Don't continue getting hurt, but accept it and then move forward. Now that's hard because of the control in us is like, I need to fix this situation right now. Why is this happening to me? Why am I going through this? Why is God punishing me? That's sometimes things that I hear, or why am I not doing better in my life right now? Well, those are all great questions and important questions, but you are where you are. Okay, forget about those questions. What can you do today to move forward little by little? So relinquishing control and saying, okay, let me move forward in the way that I can, right? And not, I think a lot of people compare themselves to other people. Everybody's situation is unique, right? So I gave my experience as me being the boss. Well, that's a unique situation. Now, personal, we don't know everything that you're going through. And so I would say that start where you're at. Again, don't accept the negativity, move it away and find the positive and move forward, or find help so if someone can help you. The other part of relinquishing control is what we call our controller. So I did something called positive intelligence training. So you guys, I talk about Shirzad Shamin out of Stanford. And if you go to positiveintelligence.com or PQ on the internet, you can find an assessment. And so the argument, and I've talked about this before, is that we have 10 saboteurs and 5 sages. And the behaviors, the mindset, and the thought process that we go through is muscle memory, right? So the more I flex, the bigger my muscle gets, hopefully, right? So the more I flex, all right? So the more you control things, you think you're building the control muscle. Control, 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 control. Every day I'm controlling my family. I'm controlling my daughter. I'm controlling my son. I'm controlling my employee. I'm controlling the person at the supermarket. I'm controlling the guy cleaning the landscaper. I'm controlling the cleaning person. I'm controlling what I eat, right? Well, that's creating muscle memory. And then what happens? Well, the world is not there to be controlled. And what you end up doing is you start creating these environments or these situations where your friction, you're starting to have friction and tension with the world, because the world ain't going to be controlled. Okay, but you've built up that muscle memory that the first interaction you have with someone or a situation is control. I actually did the assessment, and my number one saboteur, things that sabotage my life, my default number one was controller. And at 1 out of 10, it was an 8.8. And I know this. Now, I have worked very hard to not be the controller. I have controlling tendencies. I am aware of that. And one of the things that I have done is trying to let go. Now, that's hard for a lot of people and for a lot of reasons. And it's tough, but sometimes it's important and necessary. So I started off with a quote: when you trust in the natural rhythm of life, you will shift from a place of doing to a place of being, right? That's a quote from emergepositive.com. Let me give you another visual. In positive intelligence training that I did, I learned the facilitator said something very important. I've actually used this with some of my clients. Think of the world as an ocean, okay? So ocean with lots of waves, storms, sunny days, wind, animals, people. That the world is an ocean. It is always moving, sometimes calmly and sometimes vigorously. We're not sure, right? Go look at the ocean. It's calm for a second, and then you get waves coming in, lashing. Okay, so you try to catch a wave. Every day that you control the world around you, you're trying to catch something that can't be caught. Now, instead of you trying to control the ocean, right, be the surfer. The surfer is able to go up and down and in and out on those waves. Sometimes he falls, he gets back on, continues going up and down all those waves, and enjoys it, enjoys the process of surfing on the ocean that's life. So that's the visualization I want to leave you guys with today, is you can't control the ocean, but you can surf on it. So be the surfer. So how can we start relinquishing control? That sounds really silly and abstract. Number one, trust. Now, there are some people in your lives that you're stuck with, right? Your son, your daughter, your wife, your husband, you might be stuck with them. Your mom and dad, you can't choose them. So, but you do surround yourself with other people, your friends, your confidants, your colleagues, your employees. So trust in them. You have brought them into your life for a reason. So learning to trust and say, you know what, I believe in them. And when I give them a task or ask them to do something or ask them something, a favor, trust. And sometimes trust is hard, especially if we've experienced trauma or pain. But number one, trust in the people that you have around you. If you don't trust them, find new circles of trust or new people that can help you. Number two, as we try to relinquish control, think about the fears. Generally, being in control is triggered by a fear of something, a fear of loss, a fear of feeling uncertain, a feeling of a sense of feeling stupid or not wanting to be embarrassed, being insecure. Generally, we try to control situations if we're insecure, if we're not confident. We overcompensate with being a control person. If I can control my environment, no one's going to see my weakness, right? So number two, so trust the people around you. Learn to trust them. If not, replace them. Number two, try to write down your fears. If you acknowledge to yourself the things that you fear the most, you can confront them. And by confronting them, you might be able to relinquish a little bit of control. Number three, use affirmations. We talk about in coaching that the what you say is what you believe, right? So affirm that I am a surfer. I am a professional surfer, and I'm going to surf the world. Affirm that you trust the people around you, and you don't need to be micromanaging everything. And affirm that you're ready for the world, and your fears are just that, fears that mean nothing to you, and you can conquer them. And then lastly, I would say as you try to relinquish control, think about small things in your life that you're in control of, right? Building that muscle memory and say, hey, you know what? Do little experiments, because you need to reprogram yourself and think of everything you control in your life and start small. And I call these small wins, right? So let's say, for example, you get to school, a little bit older, say, hey, guys, we wake up at 7:30, right? We need to wake up at 7:30, be out the door by 8. Leave them alone for a day, see what happens. Maybe build in a buffer just in case, right? But you nagging and yelling and screaming, get out of bed, get out of bed. Of course you need to get them to school. Of course you need to get them ready. Of course they need to have their breakfast. But then the programming is you nagging and yelling and screaming every single day. And the more you do it, you become it. We all know this, right? So start small and try practicing until you get to bigger things, right? There's a saying in French, c'est la vie. That's life. That's life. Okay, everybody. So I'm going to end this with one more quote here. Talking a little bit about sort of when we try to control, we become controlled. When we try to control, we become controlled. When we release, we become free. That's from Bryant McGill. When we try to control, we become controlled. When we release, we become free. So with that, try to release, try to be free, and have a great Thursday and a great weekend, and practice affirmations. Write down your fears, acknowledge them, and then also try to do these small experiments and do these small wins to move ahead in life. And with that, when we try to control, we become controlled. When we release, we become free. So here's to your freedom, everybody. Bye-bye.